Beginning for you, because we're back tomorrow with 4 more games, headlined by Newcastle at Arsenal, Brighton at Everton, Leicester welcome Fulham, and Manchester United at home to Bournemouth. Then on Wednesday, huge game at the bottom, Southampton Forest, Spurs are at Palace, Villa against Wolves, and West Ham go to Leeds. And of course on Thursday we have the champions Manchester City away at Chelsea for you as well. If you're a Brentford supporter anywhere around the world, we'll stay on this picture for you for a while. If you want to take a shot of it, please do, because look at that. Brentford into the top 7, 26 points from 18 played, just 2 behind the team they've just beaten, 4 off Spurs, and as I said earlier, 6 off the top 4. Liverpool have missed the opportunity to go above Tottenham and into the top 5.
Andrew, how disappointing is that as a way to start the new year?
Yeah, hugely disappointing. First half nowhere near good enough. Everything we worked on we never done. They were first to second balls, we gave away cheap set pieces. We knew they were a set piece team, really good at corners, so much more aggressive when the ball comes into the box, and unfortunately we didn't do that. You find so much more aggressive when the ball comes into the box, and unfortunately we didn't do that. You find yourself 2-0 down at half time against a good team, you know, a team that believe in what they're doing, full of heart, full of desire. Second half we came out, we tried. Obviously got a goal that got chopped off and it gave us belief, and then we scored quite quickly after it, 2-1, pushed. But yeah, I don't think any complaints can be about the result. They deserve to win. They played the better football, especially in the first half, and yeah, that's why you get a result like this.
It's one of those things, watching from the outside, it's impossible for us to explain how there can be such a difference between first and second half. Can you put your finger on it at all?
Yeah, well, we in the second half we started having runners in behind. The first half I don't think we really found any balls in behind in terms of trying to stretch their last line. We know they played 5 at the back, but we also know they want to try and defend forward. That means there's space in behind. No one offered a run in behind in the first half, which you know, when that doesn't happen, then you don't stretch the back line, and then everything becomes compact, and that's why then they started winning second balls and started putting a huge amount of pressure on us. Second half we offered a wee bit more, we started going in behind a little bit and started causing them a wee bit of problems, and yeah, especially the first 15 minutes. But you know, you can't come here and play well for 15-20 minutes and expect to get a result, so that's why the result is what it is.
It's not been the start to the year you wanted, it's not been the first stage of the season you wanted. How optimistic are you about the rest of 2023?
Yeah, look, it's, you know, just now it's kind of, it feels as if we're taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. You know, we've spoke all the time about we're trying to get consistency and things like that, but when you put in a performance like that, you know, consistency goes out the window, unfortunately, and yeah, we have to pick up results. We have to win games to try and climb the table, and you know, obviously the new year's not started the way we wanted it to. It's been a tough result, a tough one to take, but you know, all we can do is keep going and trying to find that consistency, because if we don't, then you know, we'll be in a position in the league come the end where we don't want to be. It's simple as that. So we need to find consistency, we need to find it quickly. I don't know how we do it. You know, the lads, we all need to look at ourselves, we all need to look as if we're giving ourselves, are we giving 100% every single game, and if we start doing that and if we start fighting, you know, it's not a lack of fight. You know, we fought in the second half. We have to make the year's not started the way we wanted it to, but I suppose the only thing we can say is, you know, hopefully it can only get better.
Very honest, thanks,
Andy Robertson, one of 3 changes from Jurgen Klopp incidentally at half-time. The first time the Liverpool manager has ever made a triple substitution at half-time in the Premier League since he took over. Didn't mince his words there, Andy Robertson.
No, he's always honest with his appraisal. And it's refreshing to hear, actually. I mean, I started the show saying that I fancy Liverpool to get into the top 4. After today, it's a little bit of a worry, but I still think they're one of the 4 best teams in the
But consistency is the word he used.
But consistency. There. And the worst thing is, well, after 16 games for Liverpool now, they're now out the title race. They can't win the league, really, can they? And that's something that you think Liverpool, after the recent years that they've had, they've always taken it to the wire. They've won it. They've always been up there challenging. And after 16 games, we're all talking, can they get into the top 4? Can they not? It's a real big worry for them. And, you know, that, of course, they're in other competitions, but the Premier League is what you're judged on. It's what they want to win more than anything.
The foundation of Liverpool was built on that defence. You know, Alisson and Van Dijk. The foundation of Liverpool was built on that defence. You know, Alisson and Van Dijk coming in. That front 3 was there. They were brilliant. But the difference was Alisson and Van Dijk coming in now. Liverpool conceded more goals than Everton. Same amount of goals as West Ham in 16th and 17th. That tells you all you need to know. At the top of the pitch, OK, they've got a few injuries, conceded 3. So the issue is defensively. They look so vulnerable, conceded 3. So the issue is defensively. They look so vulnerable. And I think Jurgen Klopp will be worried. They get no pressure on the ball in midfield. They're very vulnerable when the ball comes into the box. That was an eye-opener. I think I'm with Michael. I thought they would be a top 4 team. But today, you're worried. They're missing their best player, even Tony, and they still conceded 3. So they need to tidy up defensively. I don't know how they do it, if they play a bit deeper or be more aggressive. But that's not the Liverpool that won the Champions League and the Premier League.
Let's have a look at the goals then, because the first one was a little unfortunate, as you said, at half-time, but the basic principles are still the same in the vulnerability.
Yeah, they are. No matter what, you've always got to be aggressive. When the ball's coming into your box, you've got to fight for your life to make sure that ball doesn't go into the back of your net. And we spoke about, set pieces. We've spoken about the 3 goals. They had 2 disallowed as well from corners. So it was there for all to see. Let's have a look at the goal again. I mean, it's a fascinating setup, actually.
Yeah.
We'll just forward it into that position there. At the back post there, in a tiny little area of the pitch, we've got 8 players. 8 Brentford players all in this area here. It's a strange one, because then when we just forward it to when the corner kick is taken, not one player is in that same zone. And when we stop it just in a moment, there we go. So ball's about to come in, and there's nobody in that same position. They've all gone into the areas that they need to be in.
Because they're trying to work this space. It's funny, actually, because they all start at the back post, basically saying, we're not going to go to the near post. But obviously that's where they're working to, isn't it? To get the ball into this area. And if we just run it on a tiny bit more, they're trying to get it to there, because they know how they have the bodies in there, Mo, and they've got the overload, which in the end causes a bit of chaos for Konate, because he actually can't see the ball.
It does, and obviously it's a zonal. You've come out into that area, and there's only one man in that area, and they were going to get a free shot as well. So I'm not quite sure the setup. Yes, there was a bit of luck with the goal. It came off Konate. He wouldn't have seen that. He would have just felt it. And it's very unlucky, because the only part of the goal it does go into. And it's very unlucky, because the only part of the goal it does go in is right into the bottom corner there. No players on the post for Liverpool either. That's a question mark.
Seeing a name, Bernardo Cueva. Who is he, you ask? He is Brentford's set-piece coach.
Well, he might be going in for a raise, I think, after today, because he was brilliant.
This was Liverpool's own downfall.
I mean, I'm just surprised Alisson's playing that ball into there. But credit Brentford. That you make a few mistakes, they punish you. And it felt like that back post area, Mo, was always vulnerable for Liverpool today.
It was where Liverpool scored their goal as well, but crossing the ball onto the back area. And I don't know, I do feel that there was a few mistakes. Within the goal. Normally, you have 2-3 mistakes within a team to concede a goal. I certainly could see 2 obvious ones with this goal here. Let's have a look at it again. We'll play it slowly. And again, what I'm quite interested in is Harvey Elliott is the man that makes the first mistake. And we pause it here. Here he is. He's about to make a run into this position here to get the ball, which is quite a strange one, sort of running past Thiago. And you noticed something, Owen, as well. See that? We just having a look back there. He takes a look over his left... See him having a look there over his left shoulder. Right. Yet, all of a sudden, he doesn't at all have a look over his right shoulder and then plays an over. It's quite incredible. Yeah. He can't possibly see the picture there.
Well, that dummy alone got him subbed. Because you don't make a mistake like that in a game like this against a well-coached side. It's not a great ball from Alisson, but that dummy alone almost invites the pressure. And, if we run it on, you'll see instantly a turnover possession. That will infuriate Klopp. You see Van Dijk, he's get his hands up there. And again, Brentford, they're there, and they're realising, right, Liverpool got a lot of bodies at this near post. We're going to work this. Yeah. We're going to work this to that back post. I mean, the one thing I wanted to mention was...
Konate there,
yeah,
Owen.
If we keep an eye on Konate...
He's pointing, isn't he?
Yeah, he's pointing to Trent Alexander-Arnold, because he's saying, you got to take Vissa, because he's going to come work himself into this area. But the one player that causes a bit of chaos is here there. Once he runs into the area, it creates a little bit of an overload. And obviously Konate picks him up there. Trent is not sure, does he go with Janot or does he go with Vissa? And it just causes a bit of chaos. But once the ball gets played in...
Yeah, I'm going to stop it again, though, because see where Trent goes, Trent Alexander-Arnold, he cannot vacate that area. He's with his man. He's quite close to Visser. He's got to get in front of him there. This ball here is the least of his worries. That ball, when it comes in, that ball to this man is the least of his worries. He's got another second to let the ball go over his head, turn and sprint at his man.
But Mo, I've been there. I think that's one of the hardest positions to be when the ball's on the other side as a fullback. I'm looking across, I'm looking at the ball there, so I'm thinking, he's there. Once you look across, I know what you're saying, you're right, but he's thinking, I'm getting a lot of criticism defensively, I'm going to stick with my guy. I can see him, rather than, you're right, this is the problem, isn't it? The one there.
Absolutely. The problem is the man that heads the ball. The problem is the man that's in the middle of the goal about to score a goal. If the ball goes over your head, the ball goes over your head to that man now, as we can quite clearly see. You've got ages and ages to turn. You can pick up the flight of the ball long before it gets there. You turn, you go and close your man down. He might be lacking confidence, he might be lacking whatever, but that's just the basics of defending. You've got to defend your box. You've got to defend the danger men in your box. And sometimes people will get caught out of position. You've got to go and fill in. You can't leave a man just empty and unmarked in the middle of the box.
Very interesting thoughts. High time we got those of the